What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about how to live an awesome life. And it's really simple. It's really, really simple. I was having a conversation with a buddy on Twitter, and we got on the topic of what it means to live life in relentless pursuit of less but better. And you guys know this is like a guiding principle in my own life. It's very important to me. As I'm getting a little bit older, I'm nearing 40 next year. I'm thinking more and more about where I put my time and my energy because, we only have so much of that. And what I've realized when I was younger is that you have no choice but to do a lot. It's like, I did an article on this called How to Get Rich by Getting Lucky. So you can go to anthonyvicino.com/ I think luck is probably the URL for that. But I talk about how there's 4 different types of luck. And in the beginning, you really only got one type of luck that you can leverage, which is hustle luck. So you're just out there, you're doing a lot of stuff, you're moving a lot of things and just kind of seeing what churns up in the dust. And that's what I was in my 20s and even like throughout my 30s. I was just doing a lot through volume and not necessarily having the leverage or the unique skill sets to be able to like get the maximum effect for my time. And that's okay. Like in the beginning, that's what you have to leverage is just hustle. And so that's what you got to do. But I'm at this point now where I don't need to hustle quite as hard. Now my time is better spent focusing on fewer activities, but doing those fewer activities better. And I wanted to share this with you guys because I think the formula for living an awesome life is just simply to do less of the things that you hate and do more of the things that you love. It's really simple. Like if you want to live an awesome life, just do less of the things that you hate. And so with that in mind, my buddy and I on Twitter, we're talking about this, and we're talking specifically about how in 2023, one of my guiding principles, the focuses, is to do less but better. And in that pursuit, you need to get clear about what are those things that you're going to cut out of your life. Like what are those things that you're going to try to do less of? And so here are a couple of things that I want to share with you that I intend to do less of. And maybe these will serve you. So number 1 are hacks. I'm going to do fewer hacks. There's so many productivity hacks, there's so many life hacks, finance hacks, there's so much time and energy that you could put into learning new hacks and new systems, new apps, new softwares, new organizational systems, new journals, all of that stuff. And they're all great. I firmly believe that any system, if properly applied over a consistent enough period of time, a consistent long period of time, will yield results. Like the system is almost irrelevant. It's just simply the application of a consistent routine that's important. But we can get so easily sucked into doing more, like trying to find the hack, like that software, that app that's going to unlock everything. And in my experience, those things, they feel good, they feel fun, they feel like they're making progress, and like that dopamine that you get when you initially open a new journal and you're like, this is going to change everything. It eventually wears off and you just go back to like probably what you were doing originally, the original system. And so it's just really important that whatever system you are going to inevitably fall back onto, like the core, the infrastructure, the foundation of it is very, very strong. And so that's what I want to focus on in 2023 is just focusing on trying to do less hacks and just trying to get back to like the core systems and just executing that core system consistently. Now, later in this year, depending on when you're listening to this, it might be out. We're working on 2 journals right now. One is the decision journal, which is designed to help you work through life's really big, hard decisions to come to a conclusion that's not based in emotion, but is well thought through and rationalized. And I'm really excited about that one. And because I've never seen any resource like this, I think it can really help people. It's something that I've been personally using, but never in a formalized journal. The other one is the hyperfocus productivity journal. And both of those are awesome systems that can serve as the foundation of your productivity, of your life, of your whatever. But I also recognize that if you're not careful, those can just become hacks. So the key here is if you're actually going to use the system, great. If it's just something that you're going to spend your time and energy spinning your wheels learning the system and then never actually employ consistently, skip it. All right, next thing that I'm going to do less but better are projects. I'm going to take on fewer projects, which, man, this is probably the one I'm going to fail at. Right now I'm recording this in January. By the time you're listening to this, it's probably like February, March. This one I'll probably fail at. I'm already failing at it because between Invictus, Beyond the Apex Community, the Amplified Impact podcast, which you're listening to right now, the Multifamily Investing Made Simple podcast, Hyperfocus book, the Hyperfocus Productivity Journal, the Decision Journal. There's so many projects. And I don't want to do less of those. Those are all really fun and enjoyable, and I love them. But I need to be really cognizant that I'm not adding more onto my plate into 2023, that I focus on what I've laid out before myself. And that's going to be very hard because I know come June, July, August that there's going to be this new batch of ideas and projects that I could run and tackle. So I'm just going to put this out here. I'm calling my shot now. I'm going to stay focused on the projects that I've put in front of myself as of January. Number 3, one of the third things I'm going to do less but better is calories. I'm going to be way better about calories then. So I'm going to be eating clean. I'm going to be eating healthy. I'm going to be making sure I'm not drinking my calories in the form of a mocha or alcohol. I'm going to be consistent with my nutrition and making sure the calories I put in are as high quality as possible. And I'm going to limit the number of calories that I'm eating so that I can stay fit. Like one of my goals as I near 40 is I want to be 40 years old at 185 pounds, 10% body fat. For comparison, right now, I'm 38 and a half years old. What do I weigh? 168 pounds, 6.6% body fat. So I want to actually bulk up and add about 20 pounds of muscle, add a little bit more fat. So I don't want to be quite as lean as I am currently. But that's the goal. And the only way to do that is by limiting and just monitoring the quality of the calories that are going in. This next one is maybe going to be surprising for a lot of people, but in 2023, I'm going to do less reading, but I'm going to do better reading. So in years past, I've read upwards of 130 books in a year. 2 years ago, I read 50, 60 books. Last year, I think I read 40 books. I want to read less. I'm going to read less broadly. I love reading. And this is the interesting thing. It's hard because reading can often just become mental masturbation. It feels like you're consuming and learning and growing, but at a certain point, if you're not applying the information that you're acquiring, and if there's not really any clear purpose in acquiring the information, then it's just entertainment, and that's fine. That's fine, but one of the things I want to limit this year is how much time I'm putting towards entertainment. I want to be more intentional about reading for deep learning. And so to that end, I'm going to focus on rereading books that have really impacted my life in the past and trying to go deep with those. And so if you're curious, I did a tweet. I think I did probably another podcast episode on this, on like the 12 books that I recommend rereading every single year. So that's one book per month. But this year I'm going to probably try and read like 20, 25 books. And of those, maybe half will be new and half will just be rereads. I'm trying to go really deep and read slowly for comprehension. The next one that I want to do less of, and again, this is probably one I'm going to fail at, are meetings. I want to have fewer meetings, which is really hard as I look at my calendar right now. I have 5 meetings today. That might not be a lot depending on who you are, but each one of those meetings takes me half an hour to an hour. It adds up. And I don't love meetings. It's a necessity as a manager of people. It's one of our most effective tools for leading people. It's through meetings. So it's a necessary evil as an entrepreneur, but God, I hate them. I feel so bored and useless in them. I like creating. I like doing videos. I like writing. I like actually creating products. I like that side of things. Sitting and talking about the thing is like nails on a chalkboard. The last thing that I'm going to do less but better, actually there's more, but this last one I'm going to share with you, is just consuming in general content. I'm going to try and consume less YouTube. I'm going to consume less books. Going to consume less podcasts. I'm going to allow for more space in my life, more white space, more silence. And in that silence, I'm going to sit with my thoughts more. I'm going to try to be bored more. I'm going to try and cultivate a habit of boredom and living with that boredom. Because I think from that place, then like deep curiosity and creativity swells and springs forth. And I want to take that and apply it to what we're creating, whether it's the videos, the podcast, the books. Like I want to create better. Like my big goal for this year, 2 goals. I want to be the best storyteller I possibly can, and I want to be the best creator that I possibly can. And not even real estate, investing, entrepreneurship, that stuff doesn't matter to me because I don't identify as an investor. Real estate is not something, it's not an identity that sparks meaning in my life. It's a way that I can realize my potential, my greatness. It's a vehicle. But at the core, the thing that I identify with is a storyteller and a creator, and I want to make more space for that. And the only way to do that is by consuming less. So those are, what is that, like 6, 7? I don't even have a list, a number. I should have maybe numbered this, like 7 things to cut out of your life. But these are things I'm going to do less but better this year. And I'm curious, from your perspective, what are the things in your life that you realize you're doing too much of right now, that if you were to trim them away, trim away the fat, what would be left? Get really clear on this. Maybe spend an hour one of these days in the next week, maybe today. Take momentum, like get traction. Sit down and journal and try and figure out what are those things that you're doing in your life that are not moving you forward, or the things that you hate. Like the things that you typically, what you want to start with is, what are the things that you hate doing? Because remember, a good life is simple. Just do less of the things that you hate. So start by figuring out what do you hate doing, and then let's figure out a game plan for actually eliminating those. So as always, it's awesome to have you here. You guys rock. Thank you very much. I love each and every single one of you. Now, get out of here. Go do a thing. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Stay hyper-focused.